Hey everyone, another semi-professional here, and welcome to my very, very late preview of Marvel's Dragon Ball Tournament of Power Infinity War. What? Just wanted to show those posters because it's very funny to me that literally Marvel copied Dragon Ball. That's hilarious. Anyway, moving straight on, we're actually here today to talk about the Endgame, and I'm going to bring up the Chinese poster because it's probably the best poster. And because what I want to talk about today is a very quick and late theory, and it's about those guys not at the top of the screen but towards the bottom of the screen, all those shaded figures of the dusted, those who are dead and departed. Or are they? And today's theory is that they're not. And no one actually, well, some died, but we'll go through that quickly and briefly in a minute. But let's quickly talk it through. Okay, what we want to talk about today is, and also, by the way, before I carry on with anything else, in case I'm correct, I haven't seen Endgame yet. I haven't seen anything yet. I'm going to see it today. That's why I'm putting out this video last minute before I go see it. But in case any of my theories come true, potential spoilers if you haven't seen the movie yet. So please, stop, come back and watch this video later if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want any potential spoilers. However, these are not actual definite spoilers. I have not seen the movie myself yet. Okay, carrying on. Why do I think the Dusted are not dead? Well, let's talk about those who definitely are dead first. Bringing it up first, we know for a fact, we saw it ourselves, Heimdall Thanos himself skewered him with a blade. He is definitely gonzo. I think no chance we'll see Heimdall in the MCU again, unless it is in a flashback way, or the same way we saw Odin in Thor's visions. We could possibly see Heimdall in Thor's visions, where he is in Valhalla, shall we say, but not necessarily interacting in the real life. Next up, and this is a graphic one, but Loki. Yeah, Thanos kills Loki and even says to him, no tricks this time, no resurrections. So, yeah, it would seem Loki is dead, but we are aware there's a Loki TV series coming. Now, that could be set back in time before the MCU kicked off, before Iron Man and Thor and the Avengers, the Battle of New York, all that stuff would have kicked off. However, it's also possible that it's set like in around a Thor 2 timeline, because I believe Thanos, knowing that Loki had faked his death before and might have been have replaced Odin, would lead into him knowing events of Thor 2, where literally, the Dark Elves were looking for the Ether, the Reality Stone. Thanos would have been looking for that. He would have had people possibly involved with the Dark Elves, or potentially he was still working with Loki and communicating with him, and Loki could have literally let him know that he was now had replaced Odin and had been successful, and trying to brag to Thanos about his accomplishments. So it's possible that Thanos and Loki had communicated in that way. We're not sure yet. Loki, I think it's dead because of what Thanos said, no resurrections this time. But then the TV series could disprove that, or it could be set before the moments of Infinity War. Right, on to the next person who is definitely dead, and that is Gamora. We saw it ourselves. Thanos sacrifices her and throws her off the cliff in order to get access to the Soul Stone. Right, so similar to Loki, where there's a TV series coming, Gamora, obviously there is Guardians of the Galaxy 3 coming, now again helmed by the fantastic James Gunn, thank God. So Gamora, how is her status going to be in that movie? Well, similar to Heimdall being potentially visible to Thor as a vision or a flashback in memory, or have someone who's appearing as almost like a Force ghost, if you will. Gamora could similarly be someone who's appearing in Star-Lord's thoughts, or maybe he's seeing visions of her, or just remembering moments from her from the past. Not necessarily that she will be alive and living in Guardians 3. That can all be rewritten. Of course, if the Avengers get their hands on the Infinity Stones, they can potentially bring people back to life. But I think these three characters, Heimdall, Loki, and Gamora, are dead and should remain so without at least for another movie or two, until we can say that they were at least dead for some time, not just dead and brought back the very next movie. That would kind of suck. So going back to the poster, then we have all the dusted along the bottom. Sorry, I didn't speak about Vision, actually. Just to mention Vision very quickly, because he wasn't dusted. Vision's body was destroyed, but we never see that Vision's mind was destroyed. The Mind Stone was taken, but we don't know how much of Vision's mind had been saved by Shuri pre his body being destroyed. So whilst Vision's body is destroyed, I mean, as a robot, as an AI being, he can store his mind somewhere else and just re-upload it into a body. So I didn't really talk about Vision too much, because I don't think he died per se. I mean, his body was destroyed. It's different. He's an AI. He's not a living being. So the Dusted, why are the Dusted not dead? I believe they're simply imprisoned on the Soul Plane, which is something that anyone who reads the comics will know about. The Soul Stone, when you can be trapped within it in the Soul Plane. and the reason I believe the biggest hint that Marvel gave us was when back to the Doctor Strange movie. I mean, we have this moment in the Doctor Strange movie where the Ancient One is about to die, and her and Doctor Strange are in their astral forms, and they're out on the balcony looking at the storm going on. And the Ancient One freezes the moment of the lightning sparking and just says, I always look ahead into this moment in time, and no matter how many times I try, I can never see beyond this moment. I can never see beyond the moment of my death. And eventually then she lets the moment pass, and she dies and she passes on. This was a pivotal bit of information, because later Doctor Strange looks forward at over 14 million possible outcomes and finds the one way that the Avengers can beat Thanos. Now, if he dies at the moment where he gives up the Time Stone, he gives away the Time Stone and he dies, and he's dusted shortly thereafter after the battle near Wakanda. There's no way that if he is dead at this moment, he hasn't seen beyond it. So the 14 million occasions he looked forward to, this would be the moment he stopped seeing. He didn't go beyond into Endgame. He hasn't seen Endgame. If he died here, he has not seen anything else beyond the moment on Titan where he would have dusted. That would be the last point he could have seen. All the 14 million possibilities would have been the 14 million different ways they could have fought Thanos on Titan and trying to stop him there. That would be if we believe Doctor Strange is dead. I do not believe that. I believe he is simply imprisoned in the Soul Stone and was able to see beyond this moment, as unlike Ancient One who saw only to the moment of her death. Doctor Strange can't be dead. He is still seeing beyond this. He was able to give away the Time Stone, and when he gave away the Time Stone, he said this was the only way, which meant that he knows what's happening after this, which means he can't be dead. So that's why the information about the Ancient One only seeing to the moment of her death was pivotal, because it infers that Doctor Strange cannot be dead. He has still seen beyond this moment and still knows what's about to happen. And the plan he set in place with Iron Man being saved, even though he said he wouldn't save him if it meant protecting the Time Stone earlier in the movie, this all plan he did, he had to give in to this plan because he knew this was the only way that they would eventually beat Thanos. So yeah, that's the theory. None of the Dusted are dead. They are imprisoned in the Soul Stone, and the key to that piece of information is Doctor Strange. And the reason we know that he's not dead is because the Ancient One was not able to see beyond her moment in time. I'm now just repeating myself. So yeah, I'm super excited. The movie is on for me in a few hours' time. I'm about to head out and go watch the movie. So I will make a follow-up to this video, not straight away, because I don't want to potentially risk spoilers for you guys out there. But in a few days, I will make a follow-up video to this, and whether I was right or wrong, that's fine. I'm happy to be wrong. This is just a theory. But I think this is what we've been told. The information is there in front of us. So yeah, we might get a scene during this movie where we see the Dusted inside the Soul Plane realm, and they're trying to escape as well. So potentially they can save themselves without having to be saved by the original 6. Who knows, man? Anything can happen. It's just going to be so fun. I cannot wait for this movie. I'm so hyped. Yeah, I hope you guys are too. And if you have seen it, just one last thing I'll say is, if you have seen it and you know that I'm either right or wrong, just be careful in the comments below. Preface any comment you make with definite spoilers by saying in block capital spoilers, so that anyone else who hasn't seen it can skip over your comment. Maybe hide the text, things like that. Just be careful, but be conscious of people who may not have seen the movie yet, because the movie is just out. So if you're posting anything in the comments below, by the time I read them, I'll have seen the movie, so it's not a spoiler for me, but it may be a spoiler from any other fans. So just be considerate and be compassionate towards your fellow movie fans and movie lovers. And yeah, but do please leave comments below. Just preface them with a big spoiler if it is a spoiler and you already know. But then we will have a discussion in a few days, maybe even a live stream if we can get some interest, where we discuss the Endgame. So guys, thanks for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. If you have any other comments you want to leave, please leave them below. I'm happy to always talk to any of potential subscribers and just, have some feedback and some dialogue with you guys. It'd be fantastic. So okay guys, until next time, goodbye.